Okay, you'll know it's from God when it doesn't ask you to sacrifice vital life force energy. You'll know it's from God when it just flows naturally and easily into your life. You will know it's from God when it offers compassion and forgiveness and understanding and room to learn and grow. You will know it's from God when it stays. You'll know it's from God when it feels clean and clear and pure in your body. You'll know it's from God when it just appears out of thin air. You'll know it's from God when you reveal the deeper, darker parts of yourself, maybe parts of yourself that you've hidden away or even been scared to show people, and that person meets you with open arms and complete acceptance. You'll know it's from God when it doesn't ask you to shrink or settle or compromise who you have worked so hard to become. Life isn't supposed to be difficult. It's not supposed to be tragic or hard. You're not here to suffer. You're not here to question your worth or your place or your purpose in this world. Your purpose is fulfilled whenever you choose love, whenever you share your gifts, whenever you show compassion. Your purpose is fulfilled when you allow love to win over ego. And it's fulfilled when you allow peace to fill your heart and your mind time and time again. You're not here to suffer or work or slave your life away, only to be stuck in the same repeating pattern and cycle. You're here to be free. You're here to learn and discover and explore. You're here to love passionately and learn how to balance passion and desire with wisdom and discernment. Your story is written every day. And every month is a new chapter. Every year is a new volume or a new book. And I think that little boy or that little girl within you would be very proud of who you are, of who you've become, despite everything that this world has tried to take from you or tried to manipulate you into becoming. I think that little girl or boy within you would be so happy and feel so safe to be with you right now, exactly as you are. They would be the happiest child in this world. They would be in awe of you. God is in awe of you. The angels are in awe of you and the gift that your presence offers this world. Life really is that simple. You're allowed to slow down. You're allowed to relax. You're allowed to laugh and giggle and play and just fucking exist without having to worry about what's happening next or what's happening somewhere else in this world. You're allowed to take a deep breath. Feel how good it feels to breathe life into this beautiful body, that you walk through this world, that you move through this world, that you speak into this world with. You are so lucky to know you. You are so lucky to be with you. You are so lucky to love you. There is nowhere else in this world that you need to be other than right here with yourself. You are doing incredible work in this world, and it might not feel like it because there's so much outside pressure, and right now you're learning how to validate your inner world without receiving from the outer world, and that can be a very scary place to be. But you are taking it in stride. You are climbing mountains that you don't even realize you're climbing yet, and you're going to reach that top peak and look out over everything that you've done, everything that you've created, everything that you've become, and be unimaginably proud of yourself for the work that you've done and the work that you continue to do. You are a literal shining star in this world. Dear soul, before you leave, stay with me for just one more moment. If these words reach the deepest part of your heart, don't let this be just another video you watch and forget. Let this become a turning point in your life. Close your eyes if you can. Place your hand over your heart and boldly declare these words. I am chosen. I am loved. I am not forgotten. God is still writing my story, and my greatest chapter is still ahead of me. Say it again, and this time, believe every word. Let it silence every lie that told you you weren't enough. Let it heal every wound that made you question your worth. Let it remind your soul that even in the seasons when you felt invisible, heaven never took its eyes off you. No matter how long you've been waiting, no matter how many tears you've cried in silence, God has been walking beside you every step of the way. He has not abandoned you. He has not forgotten your prayers, and He is not finished with your story. If this message spoke to your heart, please share it with someone you love. Somewhere, someone is carrying a burden they can no longer explain. Someone is losing hope. Someone is quietly asking God for one sign to keep going. Your share could become the answer to their prayer today. And if God places it on your heart to support this ministry through a super thanks, know that your generosity is helping these messages of faith, hope, and God's love reach people who desperately need them. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or whatever you feel led to give, every gift becomes part of a greater purpose. May the Lord bless you beyond anything you could imagine. May He restore what you've lost, heal what has been broken, open doors no one can shut, and fill your heart with a peace that only He can give. Thank you for walking this journey with us. Together we are lifting weary hearts, strengthening faith, and reminding the world that God's love never fails. Take a deep breath for a moment. Not because every problem has disappeared or because every question has finally been answered, but because you are here. Your heart is still beating, your lungs are still filled with the breath that God has given you, and despite every battle you have fought, every disappointment you have carried, and every tear you have cried in silence, you are still standing. That alone is a miracle. Sometimes we become so focused on reaching the next destination that we forget to notice how far God has already carried us. We spend so much of our lives searching for signs and asking for confirmation, wondering if we are on the right path, that we miss the quiet ways He has been guiding us all along. Maybe you have been praying for clarity. Maybe you have been waiting for a door to open or for a relationship to finally make sense. But what if the answer you've been looking for isn't hidden somewhere far away? What if God has been gently teaching you that the things He sends into your life will never demand that you lose yourself to receive them? The blessings that come from Him don't leave your soul exhausted. They don't require you to abandon your peace, silence your voice, or sacrifice the person He created you to be. They arrive with a quiet confidence, not because they are loud, but because they carry peace that doesn't need to prove itself. For so many years, many of us believed that love had to be difficult to be real. We thought that if we just tried harder, gave more, waited longer, or ignored our own pain, eventually someone would see our worth. We confused struggle with commitment and emotional exhaustion with devotion, but God never designed love to slowly empty your heart until there was nothing left of you. Real love does not ask you to shrink. It does not ask you to become quieter, smaller, or less than who you are just to make someone else comfortable. Instead, the love that comes from God creates space for you to breathe. It welcomes your laughter, your tears, your dreams, your fears, and even the parts of your story that you have hidden from everyone else. Imagine finally finding someone before whom you don't have to pretend. Imagine sharing your deepest wounds, your biggest regrets, and the moments you wish had never happened, expecting rejection, only to be met with compassion instead. That kind of acceptance changes a person's life because it reminds you that you were never meant to earn love by becoming someone else. You were always worthy of being loved exactly as you are. Here's something that may surprise you. The greatest healing in your life will not happen when everyone finally understands you. It will happen the moment you stop believing that you need anyone's permission to be yourself. That realization doesn't arrive with fireworks or dramatic music. It comes quietly, almost unnoticed. One ordinary day, you simply realize that you are no longer apologizing for existing. You stop explaining your worth. You stop chasing people who keep walking away. You stop carrying relationships that only survive because of your effort. Instead, you begin carrying yourself with peace. And that peace becomes more powerful than any validation the world could ever offer. You, the person listening to these words right now, need to hear this deeply. Please don't mistake constant struggle for God's direction. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose peace instead of chaos. Sometimes faith doesn't look like fighting harder. Sometimes faith looks like finally letting go and trusting God enough to believe that what belongs in your life will never require you to betray your soul. Life has convinced many people that suffering is proof they are doing something right. While every person experiences hardship, God never intended for you to live trapped in endless cycles of fear, self-doubt, and emotional survival. Your purpose has never been to wake up every morning wondering if you are enough. Your purpose has never been to constantly prove your value. Instead, your purpose is fulfilled every time you choose love over resentment, forgiveness over bitterness, compassion over judgment, and peace over fear. Every act of kindness, every encouraging word, every moment you choose grace instead of anger becomes part of the beautiful story God is writing through your life. We often believe our purpose must be something extraordinary, but sometimes the smallest moments far more than the biggest achievements. A gentle smile, a forgiving heart, a helping hand. These simple acts carry eternal value because they reflect the heart of God. Every day you wake up is another blank page. Every month becomes another chapter, and every year another volume in the story of your life. The beautiful thing about God's grace is that yesterday never has the final word. No mistake is too great for His mercy. No failure is too deep for His forgiveness. You are not permanently defined by the chapters that hurt you. New beginnings are woven into the very fabric of His love, and maybe today is the day your story quietly begins again. Close your eyes for just a moment and picture the child you once were. Before life became complicated, before heartbreak taught you to build walls, before disappointment made you question your worth, that little boy or little girl believed the world was full of possibility. They laughed without worrying who was watching. They dreamed without wondering whether they deserved happiness. Now imagine that child standing in front of you today. They don't see your failures first. They don't count your mistakes. They don't measure your success by money or achievements. They simply look at you with wonder because despite everything life tried to take from you, you kept going despite every storm, every betrayal, every answered prayer. You survived. If that child could speak to you now, they would probably smile through tears and whisper, "I'm so proud of you."
And perhaps that is exactly what God has been whispering to your heart all along. Then something unexpected happens. You spend so much of your life asking God to change your circumstances that one day you realize He has been changing you instead. Suddenly, the miracle isn't that every problem disappeared. The miracle is that your heart is no longer ruled by fear. The miracle is that peace now lives where anxiety once made its home. The miracle is that you no longer need the world to constantly remind you of your worth, because you finally believe what God has said about you all along. That realization changes everything. You stop measuring your value by applause, because applause fades. People's opinions change. Crowds move on. But God's love remains steady through every season. It never depends on your performance. It never disappears because you had a bad day. It never asks you to earn what has already been freely given. Slow down today. The world will always tell you to hurry, achieve more, worry more, and chase more. But God often speaks in quiet moments. He meets you in deep breaths, peaceful mornings, gentle laughter, and ordinary days that seem insignificant. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to laugh until your stomach hurts. You are allowed to enjoy the sunshine without feeling guilty for not being productive every second. These moments are not distractions from your purpose. They are part of your purpose. They remind you that life is a gift meant to be experienced, not simply survived. There will come a day when you look back over your life and suddenly recognize mountains you never realized you were climbing. The seasons that felt slow were building patience. The disappointments were shaping wisdom. The waiting strengthened your faith. The pain deepened your compassion. Nothing was wasted. Not one tear, not one prayer, not one sleepless night. God was working in places your eyes could not yet see. And when you finally reach that place where you can look behind you, your heart will overflow with gratitude. Not because every dream happened exactly the way you expected, but because you will see that God never abandoned you, even during the chapters when you felt completely alone. So if your heart feels tired today, don't lose hope. This chapter is not your whole story. The author of your life is still writing. There are pages you haven't read yet, blessings you haven't seen yet, peace you haven't experienced yet, and joy that is still making its way toward you. Keep walking in faith. Keep choosing love. Keep protecting the beautiful heart God placed within you. And above all, remember this: you were never created to spend your life proving your worth. You were created to receive God's love, reflect His light, and walk in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you belong to Him. One day, when you look back on this journey, you won't remember only the pain. You will remember the countless moments when God gently carried you, taught you, healed you, and reminded you that the greatest gift He ever gave you was not simply a destination, but His faithful presence beside you every step of the way.